Even by Pope John Paul's standards, the visit to Papua New Guinea has been remarkable. He shared Mass with tribesmen who 50 years ago were shooting Catholic missionaries with poisoned arrows. He's emerged unruffled from a potentially disastrous emergency landing when one of his jet's engines failed. And he shrugged off repeated rumors of assassination plots. Blessing the sick and joining a special service for the disabled at St. Joseph's Church, the Pope again showed the disregard for his own safety that's delighted the crowds and alarmed security officials. Several extremist groups are alleged to be waiting for an opportunity to attack the pontiff, among them Libyans, Turks, and the notorious Venezuelan hitman, Carlos the Jackal. But John Paul has been determined to show his love for these newest followers of Catholicism. Throughout his trip, he's praised the diversity of different peoples, and he sealed his message by presenting the people of Papua New Guinea with 2 gold chalices. But then it was time to move on. A rather muted crowd of about 500 watched as the Pope said farewell to Prime Minister Somare and Foreign Minister Namaliu. The Holy Father was bound for the Solomon Islands, amid even graver warnings of assassination plots and even tighter security.
The Holy Father brought love and $50,000 from Catholic charities to the massive camp. Most of the 18,000 refugees have flooded across the border from Kampuchea, and there's a fair number from Laos and Vietnam. Pope John Paul urged them not to give up hope, nor to lose their religious faith, despite what he called your suffering, your hardships, and your pain. The papal trip to the bleak barbed wire-ringed camp at Phunat Nikhom, 50 miles south of the capital, was the centerpiece of the 34-hour trip to Thailand. The big crowd had waited for many hours, protecting themselves with sunshades and hoping to get close enough to the Pope for a word of comfort. One little girl was among many who will cherish the Holy Father's visit. Only 2,000 of these homeless people are Catholics, but that's a relatively high percentage in Thailand, where only 1 in 250 belongs to the Roman Church. The Pope was visibly moved by their plight. Remember, he told them, your Holy Father loves you.
The travel-weary pontiff lost his customary cool when reporters suggested his message of religious freedom, broadcast over Vietnam, may endanger Vietnamese Catholics. Then the Pope was asked about a trip to Soviet Russia.
All is possible in the plans of the providence.
Pope John Paul arrived back in Rome, satisfied that the Southeast Asian tour was the most complete trip of his career. He had managed to juggle diplomacy with a religious and social message, publicly voicing his disapproval of the appalling lack of human rights in some of the countries he visited. The Pope has impressed the world once again with his frank political views and his ability to attract millions of people to hear him recite the Mass in their own language. But it must have been a blessing for the Holy Father to be back on familiar ground, back in the Vatican with the Swiss Guard, and only the everyday problems of being Pope to worry about. No doubt the Swiss Guardsmen were equally glad to see him too, safe and sound. With every trip the Pope makes, he tempts fate. The danger of assassination had certainly loomed large during his tour of Southeastern Asia.
Sta finendo tutto. Non c'è più.